Hello, fellow book mages. Welcome back to my channel. Yes, I know I look disgusting. I just got back from work and my eye bags are kind of insane. So I am in desperate need of a pick-me-up. And look, what better way to do that with like dragons and magic and fantasy and fantastic writing? You knew this was coming. I mean, not just because I put it in the title, but like, we all knew I was not going to put off reading this book. So welcome to the next reading vlog. This big chunky fantasy tome is going to be my next read. And I figured since I had like a whole reading vlog for The Priory of the Orange Tree, which may have been, I think, my first reading vlog like ever, then like, of course I want to continue what's now a tradition on my channel, official as of this moment, by reading the prequel. Also as a vlog. So I feel like everyone knows by now that this is the prequel to Samantha Shannon's The Priory of the Orange Tree, which I think came out in 2019. It's high fantasy, it's got magic, it's got dragons. What else could you want? I'm not really gonna like talk too much about like what either book is about. This one I've kind of gone as like blind as I possibly can. I don't even know like how far in the past like this book is set. And my intent is not to discuss the book in detail. It's just, I'm gonna read it, I'm gonna react to it. I don't know, maybe like I'll have my soul like rent from my chest and maybe it will break my heart, maybe it will blow my mind, like, I don't know. There's potential here. There's so much potential here. So I can't not vlog it. It's mainly going to focus on me reading this. I have no idea how long it's going to take me or what else I'm going to do while this vlog is vlogging. But if you're not interested in like me talking about specifically this book, wrong video, my dudes. And yeah, excited to see what I think of it, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to love it. I hope, at least. So I have purchased several different copies of this book, but this one is just the Waterstones edition. Now it is signed on like some very nice end papers, but the reason that this is my reading copy is because like, one, it doesn't really have like any of like the sprayed edges or foiling, so I can be like less precious with this when I'm reading it. Still precious because it's a beautiful book and it's a book, and I'm precious with all books really, but mainly because this one also has a bonus chapter in it that is apparently not included in any of the other editions, and obviously I want to read that bonus chapter. This is the most, like, complete edition I own, and the least pretty, so it was kind of an obvious choice. So, book update. I am about 60 pages in. The reason I'm not very far into this is because I want to say it took me at least 50 pages to really get into it. I feel like Priory was like immediately more, not like more interesting, but I feel like it was like maybe the setting, because it was like, it felt very like Elizabethan, and I would have to go back and reread Priory, but I remember really liking Priory right from the start. I feel like this one just took a while for me to care, but I'm definitely into it now. The East so far is like my favourite storyline. It's the one that I find the most interesting at the moment. I don't find either of the other two boring. I feel like the West, I guess, is probably the most uneventful. See you? At the moment, I hate her. I don't think I'm gonna for like the rest of the book, but the thing is, apparently she's like 17. The minute she was introduced, I genuinely thought that she was like maybe 8 years old. Maximum. And she's definitely characterized as like a child, and I hate her. I hate her entire personality. She annoys me so much, but I genuinely think that's because I don't like children, and she's characterized as literally a child. Like, she behaves like an 8-year-old even though she's like 17. So I've only had like a tiny like snippet of what she's like, but if that character continues to behave like an actual like that level of child, no. Yeah, everyone else so far I like. And I mean, to be fair, I feel like the East is just like, that storyline so far is just more eventful. Like, there's literally a dragon in it, so is it a competition really? Okay, I think I might have to put like the kitty ears up because my roots are not doing me any favours right now. Anyway, at this point I just feel like I'm procrastinating everything, so I'm going to continue reading this. Hello, so unexpected update. I feel like I keep updating vlogs like the minute I get out of the shower, which is great. I guess like a hair wrap towel is just gonna become like my new look. I wasn't expecting to like make like this specific update just yet. Basically, as I was editing, I kind of realized that I am missing some footage. I think like the last thing that I updated on, the footage just isn't there. Everything else I filmed is there, just not that footage, which I don't know why my camera is just not saving stuff, but that's great. I guess. I think last time I was kind of saying that I was kind of worried that I wasn't going to enjoy this as much as I liked Priory. I don't remember enough of the specifics about Priory because it's been a while since I've read it, but I am slowly getting like more into A Day of Fallen Night. It's really difficult trying to remember like what I've said in which clip. I know I'm either going to repeat myself or forget something and then just be really mad about it, so I can't remember if the last clip was the one where I was talking about characters, because I know I did like a little character rundown. Honestly, I pretty much like mostly everyone at this point. I like basically everyone from the East, except the Kuposa girl. She's called Lady Nikea, because like obviously like she's like a sneaky little snake, and like I just know that if I met that bitch in real life I would hate her. I guess I can appreciate her place like within the story as a character, but like as a person, no. Sabran and Bartold are cool. Like honestly, what an iconic like power couple. Excited to see like how they're gonna die, considering like they're in such a good position at like the start of the story that like they are so doomed by the narrative. There's also like so much emphasis on like the whole unbroken chain. I think I do like Glorian. Honestly, the West is just like not as exciting so far compared to like the East and even the South. Like I don't dislike it, it's just not giving me like quite the same level of excitement as like in the East, where it's kind of like secret royal air stuff, and it's kind of like I don't dislike any of the chapters or like stories that we're getting in the West though. Back onto I can't remember if I said this or like if this is in like the last deleted clip or whatever, but something about the way that Wolf is introduced, I'm like why is this giving me like potential love interest vibes? I don't know if it's just because like the thing where they're like the same age and like they used to be friends, they used to know each other, and now they're like meeting again. It's just such like a common trope in like, you know, sort of like romantic YA fantasy that like it's just setting off like buzzwords in my brain where I'm like just picking up on things. Like, is that a thing? But I do like Wolf. I know he's in a position where he's like, is he a housecarl? Shout out to my Skyrim days. But yeah, he's not obviously in a position where like, I don't know if there is going to be a romance, but like either way, he's not in a position where he could, like they could be a thing anyway, because obviously like that's something that would be like arranged for Glorian. I don't think a romance could be allowed there. As I said, like maybe if something did happen to Bardhold, it's like I don't know like what like the rank progression of housecarls is like, but I think you could have some sort of like weird, her mum Sabran married a Northman, and it's kind of, you could have like a weird little parallel there. I don't know, my brain is picking up on themes, but like in a really dumb way. I definitely phrased all of this like so much better last time, and it's like last time I said it because it was fresh in my mind and not like me trying to like remember what the heck I was on about. Oh, do you know who I do not like though? See you. That bitch. I swear, her opening chapter, her like climbing the tree and just being such a disrespectful piece of, I was so mad. I was so mad. I'm like, I don't even have a magic tree. Like when I was reading it, I was convinced that she was like 5 or 6 years old and that she was just being like a shitty little brat. And I was like, yeah, this is why I hate kids. This is why I hate kids in stories. But she's like 17 or something. Like, girl, what is wrong with you? Even I know you don't climb like the magical orange tree. It's just like when people are like shouting at her to like get the fuck out of like the magic branches, she's just, the way she's acting is just, it's like so oblivious and like so just ignorant of like everything, like how much she's stressing everyone else out. And it's like she should know better. She clearly does not, but it's just, I honestly was convinced that she had to be like a literal infant that just did not know any better. But no, she's just like she's just a self-centered brat. Like how could she actually be that dense? It's like she's surprised when people are annoyed at her. Oh, I hated her so much so fast. And then to find out that she's pregnant and putting like literally every single other person that like she knows and cares about and her whole like magical orange tree society, like all of it at risk for a man. For a man? I'm sorry, zero respect. Siu is an absolute loser. Like what a messy bitch. Everyone else in the south though, Tuva and Esbar, I really like. They are amazing, and like I'm so sad for them that they have to put up with Sue. Like, Sue's basically like theirs. It's like, how are they so cool? How do I respect them so much? And Sue is so shit. Like, I'm sorry, but this is just like a Sue hate club now. This channel is a Sue hate club. She is definitely my least favourite character. Like, even like Lady Nikea, it's like, at least she's like competent and purposeful in like the ways that I dislike her. Whereas Sue is just like, she's just a brat. And like, I know this could be setting her up for like an amazing character arc over like the next like, what, like 700 something pages. But it would honestly have to be one hell of a character arc because like, she's just so annoying. It's gonna be so hard to make me care about her. So I feel like I am forgetting things, which like, it would be good if I had that original footage. Alas, like a couple days since I made that update and just can't find it, and like I've lost like, I don't remember anything. So yeah, to sum up, I am liking it so far. I'm not feeling particularly attached to like any of the characters. Like I don't feel like I had massive feelings for anyone in Priory though. That's fine. I guess I am just like broadly enjoying everything, but I don't know, I just don't feel like the same hype. Like, not in the same way that I did for Priory, and I don't know if that's because either maybe I just like know what to expect this time, or maybe my like standards are just higher now, or I don't want to say like maybe it's because it's not as good, which I suppose it's probably just me though. Like, the point that I'm at, it is probably just me. Like, I'm not as worried as I was that I'm not gonna like it. Like, it was a bit of a push at the start, but like I'm past that now, so like I'm not worried that I'm not going to like it. I'm just slightly worried that I'm not going to enjoy it like as much as I thought I might, if that makes sense. Anyway, I should go and like dry my hair and like stop ranting mainly about how much I hate CU. I don't think there's anything else. I don't think. Watch it. I will have said something like really important in that last clip, and I'll probably remember like 2 weeks after I post this vlog like what I was actually supposed to say. Hopefully the next time I check in and like make an update, like it won't just be like lost in the ether. That would be great. It's not hitting me, so like, I don't know, hopefully next time, hopefully. I just really want to, like, I really want to get to the point where like I'm really enjoying the book, so hopefully that happens. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna go. Somebody wish me luck. Okay, bye. Samantha Shannon has done it again. Oh, I'm loving this book so far. Like, it took me a little bit of a while to get into it, but I think I'm on like 250 pages in-ish now. It's so good. So now that everything's kind of like, the stakes are kind of higher across the board, I don't think I have like a favourite like storyline at the moment. I don't think. I'm very intrigued and happy to follow all of it. I will say, I can't, like, this is not my reading copy. I've just done an unboxing, so like this is the Goldsboro edition. I'm gonna hold this up for like emphasis. In fact, can I? Yeah, because it's heavy. Okay, so I've decided that this book is great so far. I still don't like CU. We haven't really seen any more of her, but like all the things I have seen so far, like I just don't like a single thing about her. I'm so sorry. But I am just really intrigued to see where this goes. I feel like the point at which I decided that this book was fantastic and I was having the best time is right at the end of one of the chapters in the West. It's when there's like an assassination attempt on Glorian, and it's the moment where I feel like just that like coming together and the implications of like the Dreadmount and like what that means for like their like sacred chain upon the Nameless One, their like unbreakable chain. Like there's all that going on, but also like the mother-daughter thing between Sabrin and Glorian, and when she's like protecting her, all of that in like one little scene. There's plot, there's dramatic things going on, there's like character relationship developments, and also I want to know what's going on. Like, I've read Priory, so like I kind of get more about what's going on than like the characters do. The book was really good up to that point, but I feel like at that point I was just like, you know, I'm just having the best time reading this. I feel like I've said this with other books as well, like the Under the Northern Sky series by Leo Carew. One of the things where, especially when you're switching between, like every chapter you go to a different perspective and like a different part of like these slowly converging storylines. Every time I finish one chapter, I immediately want to get back to that storyline. So you start reading the next chapter, and then by the end of that chapter I want to get back to that storyline, and then you start a third storyline, and at the end of that one you want to get back to that storyline, and then you finally start again on like the first storyline. I know that that's like the point of having like multi-perspective books, is to like string you along on like multiple storylines and like leaving cliffhangers here and there, but like, I'm sorry, it works on me. I fall for it every time. So I'm having a fantastic time with this now. I know I kind of doubted a little bit at the beginning because I was thinking like, is this going to be as good as Priory, or like maybe have my taste changed, or like what is going on, because like there was nothing bad about it, but like I wasn't really feeling it. Well, I am feeling it now. I am loving this book. I am loving everything about this. Samantha Shannon has done it again. This could potentially be a 5 stars. It's at least a 4 stars right now. I just really like the way that Samantha Shannon does world building like in these books. Yeah, that's my update. And I'm kind of hoping that we get like more dragon stuff. Like we've actually got like full dragon stuff now. We've finally gotten back to it, because I feel like, again, right at the start of Priory there were like many dragons and many dragon riders like in the east. That is something that I like. So the fact that we've like finally got there a couple hundred pages in, but like we're back to the point of dragon riders now. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Loving it. I feel like I keep saying that, but like what else can I say for this update? Like I am loving this so far. Anyway, I have a hell of a lot of footage from today's haul to edit, and now also this. So, but yeah, at the pace that I'm going, if I can keep reading at this pace, like I know I have work like tomorrow and Friday, but like if I can keep this going, I feel like it probably won't take me too much longer to finish this book. Good for me, but also sad for me, because I'm really enjoying it. Hello, this is just a quick update. Totally not related to the vlog, but I just saw the new D&D movie, and I deem it good. Anyway, that said, like this, this under my eyes like is not makeup, so I feel like I'm still like this. Oh my god, it looks, I can't tell if it looks better or worse on that. Is this angle better or worse? I look like I've been stung by a bee. Okay, I'm sleeping in tomorrow, so we're gonna ignore the eye situation. I basically kind of came on to say I'm now into the like third part of the book. We're into like the next year of the book sort of thing, and all I wanted to say was, first of all, I was so right about Glorian's parents. I wasn't sure exactly how it was going to happen, but then when you kind of said like they're both going away to like a wedding thing, isn't that the way they always kill off parents in like Disney films or something? Like I'm not very familiar with Disney, but like is it like, unless the parents are always already dead, is it like Tarzan or something, or like I don't know. I'm trying to think of like the Disney films from my childhood, but like I have not seen them since childhood, so except for like the part where they're like melted to ash by a dragon. That I didn't remember, but like if I had to guess in one of these books how people are gonna die, dragon's up there. And I know I was kind of already a little bit convinced about like where Wolf came from after we heard the story from Tenuva, but the thing is, I'm 100% convinced that I'm right now, because he said he had a memory of bees, and I'm like, of course you do, because your dad was collecting like, I was gonna say like bee honey, but it's just honey, isn't it? I like where this is going, and like I feel like it's the kind of thing where the reader might eventually find out like plainly on the page. Like it would be cool if it were just left at that, and it's kind of like if you work it out, you work it out, if you don't, you don't. I feel like Samantha Shannon's made it like pretty clear, but I don't know whether it will be like spelled out on the page, or like whether any of the actual characters will realise this. The reader in me that likes everything to be like wrapped up in a neat little bow would kind of like Tuva to realise like your son is out there sort of thing, and to have like at least her know that like your son didn't die, because like I feel like that would be like a nice, obviously that would be like a nice thing for her to know. But also there is also just a part of me that thinks like if they just never found out, like if we knew, because I do like that also in books sometimes, where it's like it doesn't always have to be tied up in a little bow. It's like, yeah, you know, they just never do. Was there anything else? Oh, that was it. You cannot make me root for a romance with the Composer girl. Anyway, I don't want this to be a long update, because as we can see, I am tired. I might read some more before bed, but I also might just like vegetate a bit and try and sort this out. Anyway, I don't think I have a good angle. Maybe like this. Maybe this is my good angle now. I really do want to read a lot more this weekend though, so I will check in when I've done that. Hello, so this is just like a little like mini update. We've just had a fantastic scene. Dragons just like destroying the West, talking to Glorian. I'm just like, okay, like this feels reminiscent of like the parts of Priory that I like. Like I really like the image of just like a human queen and like a giant death breathing dragon just like facing each other down. Like that's just kind of fantasy I like. Like it's classic, but like I like it. So yeah, that's just happened. But I'm pretty sure I already mentioned the thing about Lord Robert, because it's like it's okay, look, it's the downfall of consuming media. As a character, he's like a side character that for Glorian's story, like at the points where he's being like brought up, doesn't really do anything. Like other characters are being brought in at the point where they become relevant, right? But like he was there like out in the gardens, like when she was talking to, was it Wolf or some, I can't remember. He was just like out and about. We've like met him like twice, and as a reader, like, not trying to be pulled out of the narrative, but you're thinking like, why am I being like drip fed this random guy who doesn't have anything to do with anything at the moment? Like, I know he's like, he exists there in the story, but like so does like everyone else around them at that point. So, and I'm not meeting them, so like, what is it about this dude? Okay, that was great. I just suffered a dead battery. Pretty sure I was still talking about Lord Robert. You kind of get suspicious because it's like, what role are you going to be playing, you know what I mean? Am I just reading too much into it at this point? I'm enjoying this book so far. It's like, the stakes, they've gone way up now. I'm just, I think when I put a new battery in, I've cut my finger. Honestly, if I'm not cutting myself on a camera, it's paper cuts, so oh, my kitty ears are askew. For some reason, it's so cold for no reason. I just kind of had to get that off my chest, because like, no more rambling in this update. I'm going, my camera's already cut me off once and I fear it's about to do it again, so. Also, you can't see, I've just realised I've still got my headphones in, like, no wonder my brain is scrambled, because I've got like music, just, this update's bad enough, I've got to go. Hello, so, I have not updated in a while, and I don't remember what the last thing I said was, and I also don't remember, like, have I read any more of this book since we last spoke? I have had a super awful busy week and I just have not been reading. I will say though, like, I think this video is going up like before my next book haul, but I did get the lovely broken binding editions, except you probably can't see on here, but like there is like a defect of mine, and there's like a big gash through like the dragon's face on like the sprayed edge, like the pages are ripped right across the dragon's face, so I was super annoyed about that. But the lovely people at the broken binding actually sent me another copy, so I literally just have 2 copies of like this same very nice signed edition now, which guess I'm gonna give to my friend. I might see if my mum wants them, but like I don't know if she'll read a book like this, and she'd probably ruin it anyway, so like maybe I will ask my friend if she doesn't already have a copy of this, or she just wants this copy. So that is some good news, that my editions are now not janky and torn, which is lovely. The main thing is I don't remember exactly where I got to in the book, because it has been like a while since I read. I'm pretty sure I already talked about Lord Robert. Did we already talk about Lord Robert? I'm pretty sure I've already said that I was right about this bitch. So I feel like I said that already. I don't remember anything that I've said ever. Did I say anything else? Did I talk about Wolf in that update as well? I definitely remember talking about him being Tuva's child, which has been revealed at this point. Tuva does know. I don't think I've updated on that fact. I do see like this whole purposeful separation. Like, I think that was one of the last things that I read, that Tanuva is basically abandoning the priory because she wants to go look for her child, which I don't think is gonna go well, but I'm pretty sure I mentioned that I still don't like Siu. She still sucks. My least favourite character by far. Did we talk about Wolf asking Glorian to sleep with him, or offering to sleep with her? We called that one from like way at the start, because like, why, like, sometimes you can just tell from how a character is being described that I'm like, they're being set up as like potential like love interest, you know, or like romantic option, and like I just feel like it was there from the start. I just, to be honest, I thought that she would get married and that they would maybe have some like sort of romantic tryst, like some sort of like potential affair, like, oh yeah, she's married to this guy but she actually likes Wolf as like a companion who she can't marry because of political birthright reasons. So like that's kind of where I thought it was going, but this is just much more out in the open. This is like, they've actually like fully discussed it at this point, which to be fair, I appreciate actively discussing this. Characters do so little of that in books, and I think it's one of the reasons that I like a lot of Samantha Shannon's writing, is characters will just discuss what is going on and how they feel about it and like what they might do about it, and I just feel like it avoids so much like needless conflict, except for, I know that Tuva has like finally mentioned like to Esbar about, oh, this is what I want to do, but like, you could have been mentioning this the whole time. I understand that there must be conflict in a story for like plot to happen, but I feel like that's just where I'm at the moment. I thought I would have had this book finished. I wanted to have this vlog out yesterday. I still have like 300 pages to go. I think I'm like 60 something % of the way through, which is fine. Yeah, every time I pick up this book and I'm reading it, I'm living what I'm reading. I'm not bored and I don't want to put it down, but like real life things just keep getting in the way. Like, I've had a very stressful couple weeks at work. So like, I've not been doing like anything creative. I have like 2 videos that need to be edited that I just have not edited. Haven't been filming this vlog regularly. Haven't been reading. It's not been looking the best, but I'm hoping I might get some reading done this bank holiday and also some editing done. I would also like to rest on my weekends as well. I will say the first like week of April is always a very like stressy, depressy time for me, so it's my least favourite week of the whole year. And generally that's when my mental health is at like the absolute worst. So it would have been nice if I could have had this vlog finished before then, because I feel like that has had like a significant impact in like how much progress I'm making with everything. So I guess this update is kind of to say I don't remember where I'm at, I don't remember what I'm doing. My brain has left me. It's not the book's fault. There's nothing bad about this book. I'm still enjoying the book. I've been like, it's a good book. It's a really, really, really good book. I really want to get back to it, so I think I'm going to go attempt to like, I was gonna say attempt to make myself some food, which seems harsh because like I do that like every single day, but also I am a horrendous cook, so when am I not just attempting to make food? I laugh, but I did once blow up an oven and set the kitchen ceiling on fire, so like really, if only I had access to Sidon and could control the fire. Alas. So yeah, I'm gonna go make some food. I would like to read today. I do have an incredible headache. Food, relaxation, reading, potentially editing videos, but like we'll see how I do. So it might have been a while since my last update. I thought at the start of this that this would just take me like, I don't know, like a week, maybe 2. This not even counting the fact that like I put off starting it for a week. I should have seen red flags then. I don't even want to try and work out how long it's been. What I will say is I have now finished this book. Oh, it's weird. It's so weird because like I'm so glad to be done with it, but like this was like my most anticipated book of the year. I think I just never expect life things to be an issue, and they always are, and somehow it always surprises me. So I think I still ended up giving this like a 4 stars in the end. I wish so much it could have been 5, but like as much as I love these books, I feel like I've only read The Roots of Chaos from Samantha Shannon, and I don't know if her other books have this same style of writing. I imagine they don't, because I think they're YA. I don't really know, but I just think that like the prose is kind of my favourite thing about these books, and like I do love the characters, I do love the world building, I do love like the fantasy elements and just the way that she does it, but I find myself not necessarily getting attached to like any of the characters or anyone's like particular fate, and I don't know why, because I do really like these characters. I just don't feel like emotionally attached to them. I do not know why, but it was kind of the same for Priory as well, and I feel like, I don't know, so I'm still gonna say that like these are probably some of like the best books I've read, just enjoyment wise it's a 4 stars. I will also say I had planned basically that I knew that eventually when I got to like towards the end, I figured what I would do would be that like I would record myself reading like the last parts of the book. However, slight issue with that is that like I was so far into the finale when I kind of realized like I had like maybe just less than like 100 pages to go, maybe like 70 something pages, but as I was reading through I was like, I feel like this is the finale, because you wrap up like so many different storylines in like separate chapters, and then the copy that I was reading had like a bonus chapter at the end, so I was kind of like a bit skewed on like where the book would end, and I was just like, I don't feel like there is like I'm not sure at what point I would have stopped. Like it had a definitive ending, but because there were so many characters and like so many endings across the book, it wouldn't have been feasible to do that. So there just is no clips for that. But then I also didn't really have any strong reactions, so like it's probably for the best. I feel like I had such high like expectations for like how this vlog would go, and I think I have just failed at all of them. And also I feel like I just don't have a whole lot to say. I guess that like part of it is obviously you know that like the world cannot end because you know that Priory has to happen after. It's difficult because the story isn't particularly character driven. There are fantastic characters, but like the plot is going to happen regardless. Like that's kind of the point. Very little any character does is actually going to influence the plot, because like the dragons waking up is going to happen no matter what. And also the whole point of this book is it's just kind of like a waiting game. It's just kind of like, what do you do in like the 2 years between like stuff starting and stuff ending, because it's going to start at this particular point, but like it's always going to end when the comet comes. So, and like nothing the characters do can call the comet sooner or like make it happen. The comet's going to happen when the comet happens. You were following characters like going, like especially Dumai, you were following her like going on like all these sort of adventures and like trying to figure out this mystery, but it's like if she had sat back for 2 years just like straight chilling and then like done the stuff at the end with a comet, like it could have potentially ended basically the same way. Like a lot of it was just for nothing. So like I don't know, I feel like I was waiting for like something more to happen. The event was going to happen no matter what happened. Like everyone could have died and that comet would have still come. And again, I don't dislike that, and like I do like the different characters interpretations of it. And it's not to say that I didn't like the characters' stories, I did. It's just kind of weird having like the actual like major plot being driven by things that cannot be influenced by any of the characters. Like, it's a celestial event, it physically cannot be, like, they can't do anything about it. And yet I'm invested in the characters enough to the point where it's like, well, I must then be reading for like their stories, if you know what I mean. But in a way where I know that they can influence like their own plot, that's it. Not the actual like start or end of the cause of the events. I don't think I'm explaining this very well, but like I hope somebody can sit there and figure out what I'm saying so that I don't have to try and say it better, because I don't want to re-record this. I feel like some of it was kind of convoluted. Like, again, the stuff with Canthi, like, I get like what her plan was. I just feel like there were quicker ways. I just feel like we could have cut that down. Like, from her perspective, it's a pretty circuitous route to get to your end goal, but then like, I don't pretend to know what she's thinking. Oh, and I so hate to say it. I so hate to say it. I feel like Siu did redeem herself like a little bit. When she showed up again like towards the end, I didn't hate her then, and I didn't hate her when she eventually went like out west. Totally fine with that. Totally fine with that version of Siu. I feel like they were so forced to forgive her because it was like, okay, well, you stabbed a big worm, so like, we kind of have to be chill about you now. So like, everything else is just kind of like brushed under the rug, but like, I still feel like I stand by that when she was like at the start of the book, such a brat. Hated her. If she died like on page 1, I would not have cared at all. Like, I guess she did kind of get like a redemption arc, but like I will literally never forgive what happened to Lalha. Non-human, like animal companion type characters, always my favourite. Always my favourite. Like, they died for what? Anyway. I think I do like kind of like how all the storylines wrapped up. I definitely like how Tuva and Esbar sort of, they're just such a good couple. They're just like such a strong couple. I love so much that we actually have characters in these books who will like just sit down and talk about things like out in the open. They'll just be like very honest with each other, and they'll just be like, here's what's happening, and they'll have like an actual sensible conversation. The bar is so low, guys. The bar is so low. I was so pleased about it. I was pleased that like they could have that conversation and be like, yeah, we're still good. And I was like, hell yeah, you're still good. By far the best couple, honestly. Again, I think I did come to like Nikea as well, but like I didn't really like, I know there was a romance, but I didn't feel anything about the romance between Nikea and Demai. I just like, it was there, it was fine. I feel like so many characters in this survived. But having said that, I feel like I'm kind of like bitter about Demai. Like, she could have had so much more. I know she kind of chose her fate, but I'm like, I mean, there were other choices. So glad Wolf got to survive. I think like my favourite characters ended up probably being Wolf and Esbar. And we didn't get like that much of Esbar. Like, we got a lot more of Tuva. I think I like Tuva just a little, like, they're both fantastic. I think I just like Esbar more because Tuva's like too like soft and maternal, and like they're just not things I personally vibe with. Also love Glorian, as always. Like, again, like the whole thing about like just this like little queen going out, well, she's like 6 foot something, but like compared to a worm, she's quite small. Like, going out to face a big ass fire breathing worm on her own, again, I think it's because it's like, it is very like a classical image. It's very like storybook, and like I appreciate that, and like I like the kind of twists that Samantha Shannon puts in, but like still gives you like those sort of, it feels like it could be like one of those like classical type paintings that like look back on like the medieval period with kind of like rose tinted glasses, but in a way that I like their vibe, and this gave me that kind of vibe. I feel like there were just like so many like parts in this to wrap up that I'm thinking like, what else can I wrap up? I feel like more than anything it makes me think that I probably need to go back and like reread Priory at some point, because I think I may have enjoyed Priory more, but I think there were more characters in this to like, and more characters that like I did end up liking compared to Priory, but I think I prefer the story of Priory. I guess because the characters' actions actually could have like a clear impact on like how the story of Priory was going to go. This was kind of like predetermined, almost. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I feel like it's like an interesting thing to do, to be like, well, we have like this predetermined thing that's going to happen, what would the characters do in that time? That's still interesting to me. I feel like I'm gonna like stop recording this and just forget everything I was gonna say, but like, yeah, I just, so much of life got in the way of like me reading this and actually doing updates and things, and like I don't even know how I'm going to edit this, because like at the time that I'm filming, my laptop has just decided that it's going to break. Editing this is going to be interesting. I'm not really sure what's going to happen. I feel like everything about this log is going to be delayed. It's already like a couple weeks delayed past where I thought I would be posting it. At this point, who knows? It's very weird to me that like my sentiment upon finishing this is I'm so glad I'm done with this book. Not because I didn't enjoy it, and like there were points where I was reading this and I was reading like a couple hundred pages in a day, which makes me think, how did it take me this long? But there were just like so many days where I just did not read, which like is on me. It's not the book's fault. I still think this is a fantastic book. I'm very glad to have read it. I think it is worthy of being like the book I was like most anticipating coming out this year. I just regret the fact that like I think I just like something about like the timing, something, it just was not meant to be. So the points where I was reading the book, enjoyable. Existing in a space knowing that like I had to read this book and it was like an obligation, no. At least I have finished it, at least I have enjoyed it, and it's still going as like one of my highest rated books of this year. So after that like ridiculous ramble, I think that brings me to the end of this vlog. Don't really remember what like my objectives were when I set out to do this, but I feel like once again it's very on brand for me to just mess up every vlog I ever try and post. Honestly, if you can find one vlog that I make like where something doesn't go like horribly wrong, it really is fated at this point. So maybe one day there will come a bright comet and from that day forth my vlogs will all run smoothly. I do not think that is likely to happen, so I hope you guys got something out of this video. I hope this was like vaguely entertaining. I'm so sorry that you had to like deal with my weird fuzzy brain thoughts. Hopefully some of this makes like a little bit of sense, or was at least like not terribly boring to endure. Yeah, leave me some sort of star or like celestial themed emoji, you know, pick your favourite. Because I do not think I'm qualified to be making decisions at this point, so. And let me know if you've read this, if you enjoyed it, and if you have, let me know like either your favourite character or your least favourite character. Does anyone hate Sia as much as me? You are welcome to join my hate club. So I think that about brings us to the end of the video. Thank goodness. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it and weren't all bored to death, and maybe I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!